So today I'm gonna show you how to start making so much money that your parents might start thinking that you're selling drugs. And by the way, this is the exact same framework that I have used to generate my clients over $50 million. And it's also the exact same framework that I use myself on this very channel that you're watching right now. And a couple of days ago, we made $16,000 in just one day. We can pop up the screenshot literally right here. And no, this isn't some trading, SMMA, YouTube automation. This is nothing like that. This is something that quite literally anyone can start doing with only a couple of hours a day. And the barrier for success has frankly never been this low, because we're gonna be leveraging one of the fastest growing industries of our lifetime. And this industry is already worth over $250 billion. And over the next 10 years, it's gonna grow to over $2 trillion. Mind you, that is larger than the entire pharmaceutical industry. So that should tell you just something about the scale of opportunity you have before you. Now, honestly, the best thing about this is that it takes zero startup capital. It only really takes a couple of hours a week, and anyone can do this. So what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about leveraging the online education economy. Because here's what's gonna happen. Over the next 5, 10, 15 years, AI is gonna absolutely decimate the economy. Now, I'm not saying that there's gonna be mass unemployment. I'm not saying any of that doomer, gloomer, boomer stuff. What I am saying is that people are gonna need to adapt, and they're gonna need to be reskilled. Now, where are all these people gonna be reskilled? Are they gonna go back to college? Well, of course not. Is college the best way to learn how to make money today? No, of course not. So what is the best way? Well, the best way is by learning from someone who's actually done it, someone who has the very skill you're trying to attain. So as all of these people are gonna need to be reskilled, where are they gonna go? Well, they're gonna go into the online education space, and they're gonna buy programs from people like you or me. And this is already happening. I mean, as I said, this is already a $250 billion industry. Just imagine the scale of that. And all you have to do is get a couple of customers a month, and you can be making $5, $10, $20, $30, $40, $50, even $60,000 per month. So let me show you how this works, because it's very, very simple. All you have to do is, one, post short, silly little YouTube videos that don't even need to get a ton of views. If you can get a couple thousand views per month across all your videos, you can make $20, $30, $40, $50,000 a month. So first, we post little YouTube videos. Then we funnel our most engaged viewers to book a call. On the call, we sell a very simple coaching offer. That's it. There's no magic sauce. It's not more complicated than that. That is all you have to do. Now, you might be wondering, what the hell are you gonna be selling? Well, the truth is, everyone has some sort of skill that other people want. Because in order to be able to teach someone and get paid to teach someone, you don't have to be the best person in the world at it. I mean, think about it. Not every tennis coach plays in the US Open. And to be honest, you're probably better taught by your local tennis coach than Roger Federer. Why? Well, because he's so far ahead of you in his journey that he's honestly become disjointed with where you are. So all you have to do in order to be able to teach someone something is just be a little bit better. You wouldn't expect a lead rock guitarist to teach you how to play guitar. You would just expect a guitar teacher to do it. They don't have to be the best in the world in order to get you from 0 to 1 or from 5 to 7. They just have to be slightly better than you. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. If you wanna sell a course on how to start knitting, you're gonna have a tough time making a lot of money, because people don't place a lot of monetary value on the skill of knitting. But if you teach someone how to start a knitting business, where you teach them how to knit, you teach them how to knit things that people want, and you teach them how to sell the knitted things that you've knit, well, all of a sudden you can make a lot more money. So the key here is that virtually every skill can be framed around money. And if you can frame something around money, if you can create a discernible ROI, you're gonna have a lot of an easier time selling. So let me give you another example. Let's say you are an interior designer. You're the best interior designer in your local community. You're very, very good at what you do. Well, you might be thinking, okay, there's no discernible ROI in interior design. It's a creative expression. It's maybe even an art form. Well, it's fine. But if you frame it that way, you're not gonna sell that much, and you're not gonna be able to command particularly high prices. So what do you do instead? You frame it as follows. Here is how Airbnb owners can make 20% more per night by changing their interior design to match a luxury aesthetic. All of a sudden, you have a discernible ROI. Your core skill didn't change. You're still a very skilled interior designer, but now you've been able to target a market that actually cares about interior design because it can make them more money. All of a sudden, you have a coaching business. And that is how simple this really is. All you need is some sort of skill that can be framed around some sort of financial outcome. So, okay, now you know what you're gonna teach. You might be thinking, well, how am I gonna teach it? And it's super, super simple. All you have to do is give people access to you so they can ask questions. If you want to, you can record some pre-recorded material so that you can kind of speak the same language. And then you just get on calls with people one-on-one, or you can get on group calls, and you help them through the process. And you do that for a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months, and that's it. It doesn't have to be more complicated than that, because all you have to do is transmute your skill into someone else. It's not rocket science, it's what people have been doing for hundreds and thousands of years. I mean, think about it. What did people do in caveman times? What was the real reason why caveman even progressed into real and organized society? It's because one generation taught the next generation, and that continued until we had a civilized society. So this isn't some new scammy way of make money. This is really probably the most fundamental way you could possibly make money, is the exchange of information. I mean, why do books sell? Because it's an exchange of information. Why do people go to university? It's an exchange of information. Why do people have bosses? They exchange information. Our entire society revolves around people who have one skill teaching that to someone else. So it's honestly really unfortunate that this whole online education space has gotten such a bad rep. But the reality is, this is the greatest make money online opportunity probably of this decade, because there is such an influx of cash because so many people need to be reskilled. Now you might be asking yourself, how are we gonna get these buyers? And I already told you that we just have to post very simple YouTube videos. But let me tell you exactly how that works and how posting silly little YouTube videos that just get a couple thousand views can have you making so much money that your parents genuinely start questioning whether you're selling drugs. Because in order to make money with this, you don't need millions of views. In fact, it's probably counterproductive to have that many views, because you just need qualified buyers. You don't need vanity views. You just need people that will convert into paying customers. So how do you get them? Well, you post what I call micro niche content. You see, the really weird thing about YouTube that honestly no one knows is that 70% of YouTube users are on the platform searching for a solution to a problem, meaning they are educational visitors. So that means if you have a video titled, "Here's how anyone can make $14,000 per month with TikTok Shop using this strategy," well then people that are wanting to get into TikTok Shop searching for a strategy will come across your video. And once they do, they will be convinced that if you are any good, you can teach them how to do the same. So let's do some simple back of the envelope math. If you can get 1,000 views on a video, let's say conservatively 1% of people actually want to book a call with you. They actually want to learn from you. Okay, so that's, 10 people. Okay, doesn't seem like a lot. Now let's say out of those people, you can only close 2 because you're not that good at sales. You're just getting started. Your offer's not that strong. Okay, well, if you can close 2 people off of one video, you can make anywhere from $2, $3, $5, even $10,000, depending on how much you charge. And that is why I say the barrier for success has never been lower, because all it takes is 1,000 views on a video and you can make money. And by the way, I'm not just making that up. One of our clients, Jack, posted his second video ever using the framework that we teach and made $3,000. And by the way, the video got like 1,500 views. It wasn't anything crazy. Our other client, Elijah, made $1,500 and his video got, a couple hundred views. Again, nothing crazy. Or you can look at one of my previous clients, Alex. We actually made him get less views after we started working together. He was getting around 10,000 views a month. And after working with me, he only got about 7,000 views a month. So you might think that that is awful, but in fact, it's great because we don't care about views. We just care about conversions. And after working with me, his conversions quite literally doubled, if not tripled. He went from making $5,000, $6,000 a month to over $20,000 per month. Okay, so now that begs the question, what are we talking about in these videos? How do we actually make these videos perform? Because it's all good and well for me to sit here and say, oh, just get 1,000 views, as though it's so easy. And to be honest, you don't even need 1,000 views. First of all, a couple hundred views can be plenty. But what we're doing is we're leveraging something that I call the OVS framework. Now, the OVS framework is exceedingly simple because we're not trying to reinvent the wheel here. All we're trying to do is find a concept and a package that works on YouTube. Now, when I say packaging, I mean something very specific. Because your packaging, your YouTube video packaging, is the idea of your video, the title, and the thumbnail. Those 3 things amount to your package, and that right there determines 80% of your video success. You can have the best video in the world, but if it seems boring, no one's gonna click on it. If the title sucks, if the thumbnail sucks, no one is going to click. So what do? Well, frankly, you just copy what other people have already done, and you just copy what's already working. Because OVS stands for Outlier Video Strategy. Now, an outlier is simply a video that has performed abnormally well on someone else's channel in relation to their other videos. So once you find an outlier, and by the way, you can just use vidIQ to spot outliers. It'll literally just give you the outlier score, tell you how much better that video is compared to the other videos on said channel. Well, once you have an outlier, you literally just repackage it into your own niche. So you don't even need to come up with this on the fly. You literally just copy what is already working. Now you might be thinking, okay, cool, I know how to package, but I don't know what to say in these videos. Let me give you a super quick summary of what to say. You lead with your hook. You want to hook people in. So you will say something like, this is the best time to make money using X money-making vehicle. And then you deliver them a promise. You say, and in today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can get X results using Y vehicle in just 3 simple steps. So you actually promise them exactly what they're going to get out of watching the video. And then you have a very soft CTA, a very soft call to action. You say, hey, by the way, if you just want to skip this entire process and work with me on a one-on-one basis so that I can make sure you actually start making money with this, well then click the link below to see if you qualify. And then once you've done those 3 things, you just actually talk about whatever it is you're good at. Again, if you're an interior designer, you talk about the best interior design principles. If you do TikTok Shop, you talk about the video formats that perform on TikTok Shop. All you have to do is deliver the actual value. Now, people always say, oh, but then I'm giving away all my secrets. Yeah, that's the whole point. You're giving away your secrets to showcase that you actually know what you're doing. You give away your secrets so that people understand that you're not just faking this whole thing. You actually give them the value, tell them what works and what doesn't work. But the thing is, they'll still buy from you because people don't buy information, they buy implementation. You can give people all the information in the world. Doesn't matter, they'll still buy from you. Why? Because they want your opinion. They might know, you might have told them what the best strategy is. You might have told them what the design principles are, but they still need to apply that some way, somehow, and they want your help in doing it. And now, all you have to do is rinse and repeat and post these videos on a weekly basis, and you will get people that book calls. In fact, you can get tons and tons of people who book calls and then you can sell to them. And that, my friend, is how you can make more money than ever before. And in fact, so much money that your parents might literally start to think that you are selling drugs, because we're just leveraging the greatest wealth creation opportunity that frankly I have seen in a very, very long time. Now, if you just want to speed run this entire process and work with me on a one-on-one basis so that I can make sure you actually start making so much money that your parents think you're selling drugs, well then just click the link below to see if you qualify.